The Smurfs are back again. They've got another brand new movie which has just hit cinemas. This time it's a Paramount animated movie starring James Corden and Rihanna as the two leading characters. So let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to the video. A brand new movie review. Today I'm talking all about the brand new Smurfs movie, the kids version of Avatar, some would call it. Maybe just me that calls it that. Anyway, a brand new Smurfs movie is in cinemas across the UK right now. Before we start talking about it, as always, a friendly reminder. These are just my thoughts, so don't let this dictate whether or not you decide to go and see it. You might see it and feel totally differently to me. That's okay, because movies aren't made to cater for everyone. Without further ado, let's start talking about it. And I'm not going to lie to you, Smurfs generally hasn't been my thing. I think I've definitely watched the first two live action ones that they did a long time ago, only because I remember ITV2 used to show them constantly. I feel like ITV always showed James Bond, Smurfs and Despicable Me. I think they're the only three films that they constantly show. Maybe not anymore, but that's what they used to show all the time. So I've definitely seen the first two a long time ago. I probably didn't pay full attention to it. But Smurfs just weren't really my thing. Like, I was more Minions, Alvin and the Chipmunks as a child. Smurfs were never really my thing. But new Smurfs movie came out in the cinema. I love the cinema. I've got an unlimited card. I will go and see it because I'm a movie nerd. And I did. The trailer doesn't look that great. I feel like, and a lot of people have said the same thing online, and it's very true, and I have to agree with it. With this film, I feel like they've just thrown a lot of big names at Smurfs and hoped for something. And the biggest one, of course, is Rihanna as Smurfette. I feel like every poster, every trailer is just literally them going, by the way, Rihanna is Smurfette, so come see this film, which I don't necessarily think is a great selling point. Like, of course it's great that Rihanna is Smurfette, but I don't think it's the only selling point for the film, and shouldn't be the only selling point for the film. But I feel like they just knew that this film was going to flop. The trailer didn't look good. The initial audience response to this film wasn't the greatest. And I hate to say, because it was right. You know, Smurfs, I feel like, have had their day and age. They've had their time. Their audience has grown up now. There's just not a demand for Smurf movies anymore. And I feel like they made this film, we're going to make it for kids. But kids aren't interested in Smurfs, are they? It's something that has been and gone and has had its time. And I think that's why ultimately it is flopping. Because of that, I think Paramount have added this never-before-seen Spongebob short before the film, which was enjoyable. I didn't know about it until after I'd been to see it. I was like, oh, I didn't actually realise... Obviously, I watched it before the film started, but I didn't actually realise that Paramount were releasing that until after I'd seen the film. And apparently it was a lost film from like 2015, which makes sense because the SpongeBob movie came out in cinemas in 2015, so potentially it was something to do with they were going to release this short film with the SpongeBob movie that came out, but they never did. I don't know. And then they probably just put this in front of the Smurf movie as another way of saying, come see Smurfs because you'll see this never before seen short, SpongeBob short, even though now the SpongeBob short is online and you can find it. I just think initially this film was set up to fail. But I'm like 4 minutes into this movie and I've not even started talking about the film. The film was bad. There's no way of me saying it. It was bad. I didn't like the animation style at all. I thought the animation style was actually unbearable to watch at some parts of the film. It just didn't look great. It looked very underwhelming. There's a bunch of original songs, and I have to say there's one that James Corden sings towards the start of the film, which I actually really liked. Not in relation to the film, I thought it was a really nice song. I thought the lyrics were quite nice and it sounded great. Others may disagree with me on that one, which is totally fair enough, but I really liked it for whatever reason. Other than that, I don't know. But I did think, other than that, all the other songs were very forgettable. But there was a lot of these new original songs, the iconic Smurf songs were in the film, and they did a lot of like dance break moments with the Smurfs during this film, but it just felt very underwhelming. Very underwhelming, because we've got these short blue characters on screen, like, doing all of this stuff, and I'm like, ooh. It just felt like they were trying to go, wow, look at this, and it was like, okay, it feels really flat, really dead. Yeah, just not great. The story was okay. It was a basic kids film. It's a kids film, but aimed for younger kids. The story was okay. It moved very quickly. It had a really quick pace to the story. And it just kind of got on straight away. But then after a while, it became very samey, very like, okay, I'm a bit bored now. Again, I'm not really necessarily the target audience for it, but here we go. So you have to bear that in mind. But it is definitely aimed towards younger kids, just because of the fact that it's like these big, bold, bright, vibrant colours, and young kids just gonna go, wow, look at all of these like things like dancing about on screen. They're not really here for the story. This is why the story was very simplistic, very basic. The humour was unbearable at times. The characters like actually didn't even seem that likeable. Even the characters that we were meant to like, I just didn't think were likeable. It just was a very flat, underwhelming experience that just, I feel like, just used Smurfs, the well-known Smurf name, and Rihanna. And they've just put that together and said, you guys should come see this film, for no other reason than the fact that it's Smurfs and we've got Rihanna. And I just sort of think that's not a great reason to make people kind of watch the film. Ultimately, I didn't have a great time with it. I thought it was very boring. There were moments where I was like, okay, that's cool, but other than that, on the whole, it was just not my thing. And I just think I think the studio realised that this film just wasn't a great investment, and like I say, the Smurfs have really had their time. There were moments where like Smurfs were like going in between portals and different types of animation styles were happening, and then I didn't get that. It looked weird, it creeped me out a little bit. The story actually didn't make sense. Why were some humans human and why were some humans animated humans? I didn't get that either. I didn't really understand why we were in the human world when it could have taken place anywhere. It didn't have to take place in the human world, but it did, and it didn't need to. There were a lot of like dead ends that actually didn't really make much sense that I could have questioned. But again, you have to remember with these things, and I think this is something that always often gets overlooked. These are kids' films. They're made for kids. They're not made for us movie lovers that go to the cinema for the fun of it. Like this is a kids' film. This is made for kids. Kids will no doubt enjoy it, but like I say, it's definitely younger kids. I would say like up to 5-6 years old would probably enjoy this film. Anything above 6, probably 7 onwards, would be like, what is this cringy rubbish junk? So, you know, pick and choose your audience wisely, but there were very, very few people in this screening. And I went on opening day, so there you go. That sort of says it all. That's what I've got to say on Smurfs in cinemas across the UK right now. Before I wrap up this movie review, as always, what would you rate it out of 10? Would it join my DVD collection? Well, I'm going to give this film, very sadly, a 3 out of 10. It just wasn't for me. There you go. Enough said. Will it be joining my collection? I think you can gather, but no, it won't be joining my DVD collection. I actually own no Smurf movies, and it's probably going to stay that way. No Smurf movies will be joining my collection on DVD anytime soon, sadly. So there you go. Like I say, everything that I've got to say on the new Smurfs movie in this movie review that you just watched, thank you very much for watching, in the description below, as always, is the movie plot, a link to the movie trailer, as well as a link to my movie review playlist. It features every single movie that I've ever done. Plenty more to come very soon, including I Know What You Did Last Summer, the 2025 remake of that. I've been to see it, and I'm about to record the movie review of that right after I've stopped recording this one, so that'll be up very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in another video very soon.